Good morning, students. This is our first practical, and I am Janish Patel. In the previous introduction, I told you that we have total 3 types of practical in our syllabus. Among them, the first type was redox titration, and this will be our first practical, and that would be of redox titration. Your experiment number 1 from your journal. Now let's see what we want to do. What is our aim? So our aim is to determine the concentration of given potassium permanganate solution, in the sense KMnO4, by titrating it against solution of 0.1 molar oxalic acid. So basically we have 2 different things. One will be the solution of potassium permanganate KMnO4. Concentration of that solution is unknown. We do not know what is the concentration of that solution. And the second thing that we have will be oxalic acid. Concentration of oxalic acid is 0.1 molar, but there is a catch over here. We have to prepare that solution. So first of all, we will prepare 0.1 molar oxalic acid solution, and then we will titrate it against the potassium permanganate solution. Okay, that is our aim, and we will calculate the concentration of potassium permanganate. Now, which type of apparatus, in the sense instruments, that we are going to use? Okay, the first one is measuring flask. Okay, what is measuring flask? Now, measuring flask is something like a particular tube. There is a point out, 100 ml, 200 ml, 300 ml, like that, from where we can calculate the volume. Okay, so we will use that for the calculation of volume. After that, burette. Okay, what does burette look like? So you can see that this is your burette. Now this burette is from 0 to 25. This burette is from 0 to 25. Okay, now this particular burette is going to be attached with the burette stand, like that. Okay, and we will fill up this solution KMnO4 into this one and make it up to the 0. How we will make it up to the 0? We will see that in the laboratory. Okay, so first of all I am going to introduce you all the particular apparatus. And this is your burette. You will open it, solution comes down, you closed it, solution stops, you measure the volume, like that. Okay, so this is your burette. We will fill up KMnO4 in the burette. Remember that in all the practicals, KMnO4 is going to be filled up in burette. Now, after that, there is a burette stand. I told you this particular stand is used for burette. After that, pipette. This is your pipette. Okay, here there is a 10 ml mark over here, and over here there is a boundary. So up to this boundary, if you fill up the pipette, it is known as a 10 ml solution. You suck it up and you make it up to this mark. This is your pipette. We will use this to measure 10 ml of oxalic acid solution, and we will transfer it into the conical flask. Okay, after that there is a funnel. Okay, every single one of you is familiar with the funnel, right? Funnel will be used to pour solution of KMnO4 into the burette. After the funnel, there is a conical flask. So this is your conical flask. A triangular shaped flask is known as a conical flask. This is your container where we are going to react. So 10 ml solution of oxalic acid from the pipette will be transferred in this particular flask. Some of the H2SO4 will be added. We will heat it up to the 60 degrees Celsius and we will titrate it against the KMnO4. So this is the whole procedure. Now this is your conical flask. Look at this. There is a mark of volume also. This is approximate volume 50 ml, 75 ml, 100 ml like that. After the conical flask we required burner. Okay, burner is for heating purpose. Okay, burner will be used for heating purpose, so it is attached in the lab, so this is not available right now but you will come to know burner in the lab. After the burner, chemical balance. Chemical balance used to measure mass. As I told you, we have to prepare solution of oxalic acid. That's why we have to measure exact what amount of oxalic acid will be dissolved in water. That's why chemical balance is our apparatus, which is also in the laboratory. We will see it. After that, beaker. Okay, there are two types of beaker, small beaker and the big one. You can see that this is your beaker where KMnO4 solution will be there and we will transfer it into the burette, and this is your small beaker where we will make solution of oxalic acid and transfer it into this beaker so that we can use pipette easily. Now in which apparatus we are going to calculate concentration of oxalic acid. So as I told you, we will wait in the chemical balance exactly what amount of oxalic acid we need. We will dissolve it in some of the water, we will transfer it in, and here there is a mark. We will add water up to this mark and we will mix it, make it homogeneous, and that would be your 100 ml 0.1 molar solution. So this is your measuring flask where we are going to measure volume and make solution of oxalic acid. So that was all your apparatus. After that, which type of materials are required? Obviously, we will need oxalic acid, potassium permanganate and 1 molar concentrated sulfuric acid, because this is your redox titration, and for the redox titration we will need acidic medium. Now, which things are taken where? In the burette, we have taken unknown concentrated solution of KMnO4, potassium permanganate. I told you that burette will be filled up with potassium permanganate. After that, conical flask. As I told you, 10 ml volume of the oxalic acid measured by pipette will be transferred into the conical flask, and we will add half test tube of 1 molar H2SO4 and then we will heat it up to the 60 degree Celsius. Okay. Now, indicator. What is indicator? You know that indicator shows us that reaction is completed. I have written that KMnO4 is self-indicator. Why? As we all know, KMnO4 is violet in color. KMnO4 is violet in color. So as long as KMnO4 is reacting, its violet color will disappear. And as reaction has been completed, at the end point of the reaction, the extra amount of KMnO4 will not react and it remains violet. So whole solution becomes light pink, because that one drop of KMnO4 gives color. That's why I have written that KMnO4 is self-indicator and we do not need to add any indicator in that. Color change. What will be the color change? Okay, oxalic acid is colorless, H2SO4 is colorless. So when both of them are in the conical flask, your initial color will be colorless. It is transparent like a water. But at the end point, it becomes light pink because of the KMnO4. That's why your color change will be colorless to the light pink. Okay. After that, which type of chemical reaction is occurring over here? There is a redox reaction, as we all know. KMnO4 is reacting with oxalic acid. Now KMnO4 is oxidizing agent, that's why it will oxidize H2C2O4 in carbon dioxide and water, as you can see. That's why carbon here is plus 2 will convert it into carbon plus 4. That's why there is a change of 2 oxygen in oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is releasing 2 electrons, sorry, not oxygen, 2 electrons. Now this is your oxidizing agent, that's why it will reduce itself. So manganese is plus 7 over here and manganese over here is plus 2, transfer of 5 electrons. That's why KMnO4 has a transfer of 5 electron, whereas oxalic acid has a transfer of 2 electron. Second thing, you have to write this equation in your exam. That's why it is very important for you. It contains some of the marks from the 16 mark practical. Now how we will prepare 0.1 molar 100 ml solution of oxalic acid? How we will do it? It is quite simple. It is very simple. Okay, what is the molecular formula? H2C2O4 into 2H2O, because oxalic acid is crystallized. H2C2O4 into 2H2O. Now guess it like that. For suppose we are making 1 molar solution and 1 liter solution. If 1 molarity is 1 and your volume is 1 liter, in the sense 1000 ml, how much weight, how much mass of acid you will require? It will be equal to the molecular mass of oxalic acid. And what will be the molecular mass of oxalic acid? It will be 126 gram. That's why to make 1 molar 1000 ml solution, we will need 126 gram of oxalic acid. But we do not want 1 molar, we want 0.1 molar. That's why 0.1 molar 1000 ml will require 12.6. We have to shift 1 point. Okay. But we do not want 1000 ml, we want only 100 ml. So 1 0 will be reduced. That's why point again will be shifted left side. That's why to make 0.1 molar 100 ml solution, we will require 1.26 gram exactly of oxalic acid. So now what we will do? We will use chemical balance. We will measure exactly 1.26 gram of oxalic acid. We will transfer it into a flask. We will dissolve it with some water, and after that we will add more water and make it up to the 100, and that would be our 100 ml 0.1 molar oxalic acid solution. Remember that you have to prepare it in exam to use it. That's why you have to remember this calculation and you have to write it. In your journal there is a procedure after that, how to perform the practical. That is not necessary for exam to write. That's why you have to write it from the textbook in your journal. Now next thing is our observation table. How we are going to calculate or how we are going to perform the whole practical. It is very easy. First of all, our burette is filled with potassium permanganate solution, KMnO4. With every single reading, we will make it up to the 0 again. With every single reading, KMnO4 is set it up to the 0 mark always. That's why your initial reading will be always 0.0 ml. Right? Your initial reading, 4 of them will be always 0.0 always. Because with every single reading, we are filling it up again and setting up to the 0. Now your final reading. So what is the whole procedure? We will take pipette, we measure 10 ml from the pipette, we transfer it into the conical flask, we add half test tube of the sulfuric acid, we heat it, use the thermometer, and exactly at the 60 degrees Celsius we take it back and we are adding KMnO4 into it. As the reaction proceeds, KMnO4 colors disappear at the end point, light pink color obtained, we stop and we look it into the burette, what amount of KMnO4, sorry, what volume of the KMnO4 is used, and that would be our final reading. Remember that burette can only measure 0.1 ml as a least count. Okay, so minimum amount measured in the burette is 0.1 ml. So after the point there should be always one digit, not more than one digit. So that would be your final reading. Okay, difference between these two will be the same. So final reading again will be written in the difference. Okay, this is your first reading. After that you wash the conical flask, you again take 10 ml of the oxalic acid, add half test tube H2SO4, you heat it up to the 60 degrees Celsius. Before that fill up the KMnO4 up to the 0 mark again, and you repeat the same practical 3 times. So total 4 readings will be there. Okay, now what for the concurrent reading? It is very simple. These 4 difference, you have to take average of these 4. Whatever 4 readings are here, you have to take average of these 4 readings, in the sense add these 4 into sum of these 4 divided by 4. You will get your concurrent reading, which will be written over here. Remember that after the point there will be only one digit. You have to round it off to the point 1 digit. Okay, that would be your V2. Now what is V2? Volume of KMnO4. Remember that with this practical we calculated how much amount of volume required for 10 ml oxalic acid. Now about the calculation part, how we are going to calculate the molarity. So the first thing will be molarity of KMnO4. There is a formula for that in your textbook also. A1M1V1 will be equal to A2M2V2. Okay, where one number is stands for oxalic acid and 2 number stands for potassium permanganate solution. So what will be the A1? Electron transfer of oxalic acid. I told you, remember that oxalic acid is transferring 2 electrons. That's why A1 will be equal to 2. M1, molarity of oxalic acid solution, we make it 0.1 molar. After that volume of oxalic acid, in every single reading we are taking 10 ml. That's why volume of oxalic acid will be 10 ml. Now A2, electron transfer of potassium permanganate. I told you it is transferring 5 electron because Mn is plus 7 to plus 2. That's why A2 will be equal to 5. Molarity of KMnO4, that we have to calculate M2. So M2 will be calculated, and V2. For this V2 we have performed the whole practical, and the average of this 4 reading is our V2, which will be the volume of potassium permanganate. Now we have all the values, just M2 is remaining. That's why if we want M2, our formula will be A1M1V1 divided by A2 and V2. Put down the values. A1 equal to 2, M1 equal to 0.1, V1 is 10, A2 will be 5, and V2 is obtained over here. Use the calculator, you will get the molarity of KMnO4. See, a very simple procedure, a very simple practical. Now we also have to calculate a second thing, which is known as a gram per liter, or the strength of KMnO4 solution. Strength of KMnO4 solution. How can we calculate the strength of KMnO4 solution? There is a simple formula for that. Molarity of KMnO4, which is calculated over here, multiplied by molar mass of KMnO4. Okay, what is the molar mass of KMnO4? Remember that it is 158. Molar mass of oxalic acid 126. Remember these two values for this practical. Now this molarity will be multiplied by 158 and you will get your answer in a gram per liter, or you can say strength of KMnO4. Now this both the calculation values will be written in the result. So first one will be molarity of KMnO4 solution, this much, and gram per liter of KMnO4 solution, this much. Why I have written this all in your introduction of the practical? Because this is the way you are going to write in your exam, board exams. First of all, you have to write your aim, which will be given to you in exam. After that, you have to write the apparatus required, you have to write the material required, you have to compulsory write these 4 things: burette, conical flask, indicator, color change in same order. After that, you have to write the chemical reaction. After that, you will make the solution of oxalic acid, so you have to calculate this part. After that, you will draw your observation table. As the observation table completed, you took all the readings, you make the average V2. After that, you calculate. For the calculation of molarity, this formula is used. You have to mention every single values and what is it. After that, you calculate the molarity. After the calculation of molarity, you will calculate gram per liter, and after the gram per liter, you have to write your result. So you have to remember whole order, because this is your part A in the board exam. This practical contains 16 marks. Okay. Second thing, they will not provide any book for writing this practical. That's why you have to write it on your own. So remember this order and how you have to write it down in your board paper. Okay. Clear? So this is your first practical and how to perform it. So now let's perform that practical. So let's go to the lab and clear these things out. Okay. So as per we discussed in the board, we are going to perform our practical number 1, which is very easy compared to all the other practicals. First of all, I am going to introduce every single thing over here. Now, look at this. As I told you and shown you, this is your burette. Okay, in this burette you can see that there is a mark of 0. Right? There is 0 and it is all the way going down up to the 25. Right? It is all the way going down up to the 25. So, I have put it down my burette on the burette stand. So we can perform practicals using the burette. Okay. Burette will provide us initial volume of amount of volumes which will be useful for the practical. Now, as I told you, we have to prepare solution of oxalic acid. And for that, we have to weigh, as per our calculation, exactly 1.26 gram of oxalic acid. We will put it into the beaker, small beaker. We will add some amount of water. We will dissolve whole oxalic acid, and then we will put it down into the measuring flask. Okay, in this measuring flask, to save our time, I have already prepared solution of oxalic acid. As per you can see over here, there is a solution of oxalic acid in it and it is up to the mark. Now I have to tilt it to show you the mark. You can see there is a clear mark over here. If you fill up the solution up to this mark, that means it is 100 ml solution, and you know that we have calculated it for 0.1 molar and 100 ml. So I am simply going to pour this oxalic acid which I have prepared into another small beaker, so that we can use pipette to suck out the oxalic acid. Because here if you put down the pipette, it won't be useful that much. That's why I have to transfer it into another beaker. So I am simply transferring it into a small beaker where I can use it properly. Okay. Now this is our 0.1 molar oxalic acid, and every single reading will be used as a 10 ml reading. Right. Now this is your potassium permanganate, the unknown concentrated solution of potassium permanganate. This solution goes all the way into the burette. Now, before you add burette, you have to wash your burette very carefully with the water and using empty beakers. Okay. Clean your burette with water carefully, because if someone have done practical before you, there will be a trace amount of reactant in it. That's why you have to wash it carefully. So, I have already done it. I have already washed it. Now, first of all, you have to check the choke. If it is open, you have to close it. Okay? Close the choke all the way so that there will be no leaking of KMnO4. So, I have closed the choke. Now, using the funnel, I am going to add potassium permanganate into the burette. As you can see, a violet beautiful color is going down to the burette. Okay, add some extra amount of KMnO4 into it, because there is a reason for it. Look at this. Now, this burette is not completely filled, because this part of burette is still empty. That's why you have to fill this part up. After that, it will be completely filled. Second thing, here you can see there is a 0 mark over here. So you have to bring down this solution to the 0 mark, and the last part of the burette should be filled. So let's do this. I am going to remove some amount of KMnO4 for filling this up and bring it up to the 0. So I am going to simply open it. As you can see, KMnO4 is coming down right into the pipe. Now this pipe is filled up. So our one task has been completed. Remember that if there is any amount of air in this pipe, you have to remove it. Now you can bring your sight on the upper part. Here there is a 0 mark, so you have to bring your KMnO4 line on the 0 mark. Okay, you can see that the solution is coming down. Now you have to set it up to the 0, and for that be very careful on your hand. Okay, now you can see that it is on the 0. Okay, look at this, it is on the 0. So we have filled KMnO4 in the burette. Our second step, we have to take 10 ml of oxalic acid into the conical flask. This is our conical flask. Okay, so I am going to use this pipette. Okay, and I am going to suck up 10 ml of oxalic acid. But before that, look at this. I have to show you something. Over here you can see a mark like measuring flask. Okay, over here there is a mark. Now if you fill solution up to that mark, that means you have taken 10 ml. Remember that you have to fill this pipette up to the mark so that it will be up to the 10 ml. Let's do this. Now the solution is coming down slowly from the pipette. Okay, look at this. You have to make it up to the mark, and it is up to the mark. Now I am going to transfer it, and I am going to remove my thumb. Okay, so the solution will be transferred into the conical flask. Exactly 10 ml of conical flask containing solution. Now remember that never ever blow inside the pipette. Just press your thumb and move it around and remove it. Remember, do not blow pipette. Now we have 10 ml of oxalic acid. Remember that we have to add few drops of concentrated 1 molar H2SO4. So I am adding few drops of sulfuric acid inside it. Now, as I told you, we have to heat this particular conical flask up to the 60 degrees Celsius, and after that we will able to calculate the amount of KMnO4 used. Okay, so for the heating purpose I am going to use this particular chalk. Okay, tighten it so your conical flask won't remove from it. Now you can see that I have the handle. Now first of all we have to light up the burner. Okay, so I am just going to open the chalk and I am going to light our burner. Okay, remember that use thermometer to measure the temperature 60 degrees Celsius. Okay, so tilt it and put your thermometer inside the conical flask. Okay, right now the temperature is showing me 40 degrees Celsius. As the time passes, temperature increases. It is now 50 degrees Celsius. Increases, and now it is 60 degrees Celsius, and our purpose is obtained. So it is at the 60 degrees Celsius. Remember, do not remove the chalk, otherwise you will be burned. Now add KMnO4 into it, dropwise. Okay, slowly. Look at this. The violet color of KMnO4 is disappearing. That means reaction is occurring over here. Look at this. Okay, what will be the color change? As I told you, color change will be colorless to light pink, because when the reaction will be completed, the extra amount of KMnO4 that we have dropped will give the color to the solution. That's why KMnO4 is your self-indicator, and we do not have to add any type of indicator in the solution. Remember that do not remove the handle, otherwise your hand will be burned. Do not take flask in your hand. Look at this, the violet color is continuously disappearing. Okay, we have to do this till the solution becomes light pink. Okay, look at this. Now, this is our primary reading. Why? Because we didn't know how much amount of KMnO4 was needed. Okay, so look at this, it became dark pink. Now what we have to do, we will use this reading as a primary reading. Look at this. Here you can see that 5 ml solution has been added, right? That means this is our primary reading, and our reading should be less than 5. Our reading should be less than 5. So we are going to repeat the whole procedure again, but now we will add up to the 4 ml, and after that we slow down so that we will get our exact reading. Okay, now remove the handle and wash it with the water very carefully. Remember, wash it 2 or 3 times because there will be a trace amount of solution inside it. Put it down on the back of the stand so that water will be removed from the conical flask. Now what we will do, we will again fill up the KMnO4 inside the burette and make it up to the 0. So it is set it down on the 0. Okay, look at this. It is on the 0. Okay. Now what we will do? We will again take 10 ml of oxalic acid. The same procedure will be repeated. Okay. So 10 ml of oxalic acid. Solution is coming down very slowly. You can see that clearly, right? And now it is on the mark. So this is our 10 ml oxalic acid. Okay. Now do not blow, as I told you. Okay. Now next step, add some amount of H2SO4 in it. Next step, the handle. Use the handle for the heating purpose. Okay, tight it so conical flask won't be removed. Now we are going to heat it. Okay, I am going to put down the thermometer on it. You can see that temperature is rising and it is 40 degrees Celsius already. Now increasing, it is 50 degrees Celsius now, still increasing and hits the 60 degrees Celsius mark. Now our solution is heated up to the 60 degrees Celsius. We are simply going to add our potassium permanganate inside the solution. Look at this, the violet color is disappearing. Okay. Now you can add up to the 3 ml easily. Why? Because up to 3 ml it is not giving us any type of color. Okay. Now we will add it drop wise because our reading is less than 5. Okay. Our reading will be here anytime. Look at this. Our solution is becoming a very light pink. Right? So, reaction has been completed. Look at this. A very light and beautiful pink color is here. Now, look at the reading. See? It is more than 5. It is more than 5. That means it is 4.5 and it is 4.4 line. Okay. So our solution is 4.4. Now, I have shown you the observation table. In that observation table, there was initial reading, there was final reading, and there was a difference, right? Now what was the initial reading? You know that it was 0.0, the first reading. The final reading was 4.4. Difference is 4.4, right? Likewise, we have to calculate the second reading, third reading and fourth reading. After that, I told you we will calculate our V2. That means the average of 4 readings. Okay. Now, look at this. What we will do again? We will again fill up the KMnO4 inside the burette. Make it up to the 0. We will wash the conical flask. We will take 10 ml of oxalic acid again. We will add some sulfuric acid inside it and after that we will heat it up to the 60 degrees Celsius and again we will titrate. We will obtain the result, write it down in the final. Initial was 0. Like that you have to complete the remaining 3 observations. Okay. Now as per you can see, I have completed our practical 3 more times. The same procedure is repeated 3 more times and I have obtained the result as a 4.5, 4.5 and 4.5. So we have to calculate the average of these 4 results, and for that add this 4 and divide it by 4. You can see that your final result will be 4.5 ml. Why? Because you cannot take 2 numbers after the point. You just have to use single number after the point, because the minimum capacity of the burette to measure volume is 0.1 ml. So our V2 will be 4.5 ml. Now as per I have shown you, we have to calculate concentration of KMnO4 in molarity, right? So molarity of KMnO4, what was the formula? A1M1V1, which is equal to A2M2V2. Now you know that one number stands for oxalic acid and 2 number stands for KMnO4 solution. Now what we will find out from this equation? We will find out the concentration of KMnO4. So M2 will be equal to A1M1V1 divided by A2 and V2. Okay. Now what is the value of A1? What is the value of A1? Carbon is converted +2 to +4. That means there is release of 2 electrons. That's why A1 will be equal to 2. Concentration of oxalic acid 0.1 molar. I have shown you on the board. Volume of the oxalic acid 10 ml divided by A2. What is the value of A2? You can understand that Mn in the KMnO4 is +7 converted to MnSO4, which is +2. That means Mn +7 to Mn +2. It is gaining 5 electrons, right? So A2 will be equal to 5 and V2. What is the value of V2? Volume of KMnO4, it is 4.5 ml. Now use the calculator for this calculation. 2 into 0.1 into 10 will be equal to 2. 2 divided by 5 and again divided by 4.5. Your answer will be 0.089 molar. Your concentration of KMnO4 is 0.089 molar. Now our second calculation. KMnO4 concentration in gram per liter. What was the formula? It is very simple. Molarity of KMnO4 into molecular mass of KMnO4. Put down the values. Molarity we have just discovered 0.089 and molecular mass is 158. Right? Now multiply this to 0.088 or 89 into 158 and our answer will be equal to 14.05 gram per liter. Now these two answers will be written in the results also, right? So here our practical number 1 has been completed. Now how you can write your whole practical? It is very simple. First you have to write your aim, which will be given in your exam. After that you have to write required materials. After that required instruments. What you have taken in the burette, what you have taken in the conical flask, indicator, color change. After that chemical reactions. After the chemical reaction you have to write observation table. And after the observation table you have to calculate concentration of KMnO4 in the molarity and gram per liter. And 12th and the last point will be the result. So this 12 point you have to write in your board exams. This practical will be of 16 marks. So a very simple thing, practical 1 and practical 2. Any one of them will be asked in your board exams. In the next lecture we will start our practical number 2. Thank you so much.